Freedom Hall in Louisville, the site tonight of one of college basketball's storied rivalries. It's Indiana and Kentucky for the 38th time. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Dick Vitale. You remember this one a year ago. Indiana limped in off a loss to Butler, and they beat the #1 team in the country in Kentucky. Here they are 2-3. That hasn't happened in 11 years, Dick. And they're going to need backcourt play like they got from Damon Bailey, but he's not around to help them this year.
Yeah, last game, Damon Bailey last year penetrated, broke down that defense and attack. They're going to need that kind of performance out of Neil Reed because they're going to face all kinds of double-team traps. Reed had a tremendous 2 games. He played 80 minutes and didn't turn the ball over once. Made some open jump shots. He becomes very key against the Kentucky trapping defenses.
Well, Kentucky's not #1 this go-around. They are #7, though. They're coming off a close loss to UCLA. Otherwise, their record would be unblemished. Not quite the Kentucky team we're used to. They don't put up all those threes that we've seen over the years, at least not yet.
Well, they're looking for a lot more balance. They got a tremendous baseline, and they've been looking to the inside. They got 6 really dominant baseline performers, but now they have to get a little balance. They're averaging 16.7 three-point attempts. They want to go up to about 20. But when you got McCarty and Prickett and Rhodes, and you got all those people inside, they throw it inside.
That's what they're going to do tonight. And it's Knight and Patino. What more could you ask for? Indiana and Kentucky, they'll get together for the 38th time when we come back.
And welcome, everybody. I'm Carl Ravitch. Welcome to the ESPN studios, a dynamite doubleheader. And throughout the evening, we'll update and show you highlights from other top 25 action going on across the country. UMass is hosting Pitt, and Georgetown and Allen Iverson hosting Providence. Our second game tonight at 9:30, a super one. 2 unbeaten, 2 top 10s, Florida and Kansas. That one tips at 9:30. But up next, it is Indiana and Kentucky from Freedom Hall. The Cats 2-1 thus far. Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale with a call after this.
ESPN's coverage of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Reebok. Reebok believes in the athlete in all of us. And by DirecTV, introducing personalized TV.
They will definitely be selling some cat supplies tonight. Freedom Hall in Louisville. We get set for Indiana and Kentucky. Let's check our Reebok starting lineups. First, for Indiana, the backcourt has Reed and Hart. Up front, Henderson and Patterson. And a key man as a swing in there is Brian Evans, Dick.
Brian Evans has to knock down the 3. He can be a very effective wing jump shooter.
That's the 5 for Bob Knight. For Rick Pitino's Wildcats, Mark Pope down low, McCarty and Rhodes up front. Tony Delk, who's a sensational scorer. Now, Anthony Epps is the question mark, I guess.
Well, he's the catalyst right now. He takes over for Travis Ford, and he's got to run this club. They got a beautiful vehicle, but he becomes their engine at the point guard slot.
This place has been rocking for about an hour. Considered a neutral site, but when you consider that Rick Pitino's 8-1 in this facility, this is almost like Rupp Arena West, they call it. Jim Hurd, Tom O'Neill, and John Clockerty are officials.
Everybody's excited, Brad. They're ready to throw it up. The players are going up too quick.
Now we got it going. And there is Epps. Roderick Rhodes inside, the follow by Pope.
That's the power game we're talking about. They're very strong, and here comes that full court trap.
And immediately produces a foul. And it's on Roderick Rhodes.
Rick Pitino was quoted today in a local paper. He said Neil Reed will see pressure like he has never seen before. But he did say that the kid is an outstanding prospect and will be a great point guard.
Here he is in the backcourt. And you're right, this isn't Metairie, Louisiana.
He was a heck of a player out there in the suburbs of New Orleans. There's that full court trap with the big guys. They invert.
He didn't have any trouble with it, but he did have trouble with the pass. Steal by Delk.
That's his first turnover in 2 games.
Yep. Rhodes on the other end tries to create. Oh, what a shot.
What a super move, baby. That's shake and bake, Jersey City style.
And he almost came up with a steal, but he got his second foul instead. And that might take Roderick Rhodes right out of this first half.
They are playing with such intensity and emotion. Take a look at this little shake and bake. Oh, he just blows by Hart. Look at him hanging in the air. Tremendous talent. He needs consistency.
He may have fired himself up too much with that basket because he turned around and picked up his second cheap foul.
Notice how they use McCarty and Pope out on the perimeter trapping. You got to attack that pressure, Brad. You got to go right at it and try to get conversion.
Outside is Hart. Indiana has yet to put up a shot.
Notice how they play off him. They're going to allow Hart to shoot the basketball. He's got to prove he can shoot it.
Here's a guy that we know can shoot it, but he comes up short. Henderson missed the opening shot for the Hoosiers.
Pope had a hand right in his face.
Delk, I thought he was going to take the three. Instead, he penetrates. And the rebound is Henderson.
Henderson has to be big on the interior. He has to neutralize the great strength of Kentucky on that baseline.
Get it down to Evans. Rhodes working on it.
Rhodes is their best defensive player. He likes to get right up in your face.
They'll leave Hart alone, and he'll take the shot outside. McCarty the rebound.
McCarty's so versatile. Look at a big guy handle the rock in transition. Rick Pitino was so high on Walter McCarty. He told you and I today that he thinks in 5 years he'll be way ahead of all these other players. There's Evans with that jumper.
He thinks he'll be the best player at the next level if he continues to progress. That's the opening bucket for Evans, 4-2 Kentucky.
Typical Indiana defense, man-to-man. Bobby Knight open.
Reed on the run by himself.
That's what you have to do. Attack that pressure. Put points on the board. And that's what you were talking about earlier. Damon Bailey put 29 on the board last year in a 12-point win.
Might have been Damon Bailey's best game ever. Here's Rhodes, and he nails it just inside the three-point line.
Is he playing with confidence or what? You can just feel it. Maybe it's the hairdo. Maybe it's the new ball dome.
He's got 6 early. It's 11-6.
Look at Prickett and McCarty up here in the perimeter trapping. They try to invert.
And Patterson nails it outside.
They expect big things out of Andre Patterson, rated one of the top 5 high school players in America. Had a good Maui tournament.
Rhodes missed that one. He was 3 for 5 before that miss, and now the rejection inside as Prickett put one up, and Patterson sent it out into the good seats.
Patterson averaged about 15 points a game in Maui in 3 big games, and then he disappeared in the last 2 games.
11-8 so far. Kentucky using this road, trying to pick up the victory. (11-8) Kentucky early. 15-12 to go first half in Freedom Hall in Louisville. And Rick Pitino in his 6th year as head coach of the Wildcats, 2-3 against Indiana in his coaching career. There you see his numbers at Kentucky. And on the other side is Bob Knight, 24 years in Bloomington and 642 victories overall, 540 of those at Indiana.
I'll tell you, you talk Knight and you talk Pitino, you're talking Letterman. That's and right. Jay Leno, baby. You're talking big time. You're talking spotlight. And I'll let you figure out who's Letterman and who's Leno.
That's right. Delk outside.
Delk didn't have a good game against UCLA, and that really hurt them. He's got to put some points on the board from that perimeter.
Reed drives all the way. Shepard may have gotten a piece of it. Now Shepard runs the break up to Delk. Rhodes thought about it. He'll take it. He's missed his last 2.
Didn't take that shot within the realm of their offense.
Nice feed. Evans in low to Henderson. Patterson trying to tip it in. And Prickett will clear it out to Shepard on the run. Look out for this kid. He can get up in the air. That's a charge.
That's a charge.
Don't forget, we got 2 great games tonight. We're involved in one right now, and later it'll be the 6th-ranked Gators of Florida. Lon Kruger's club and Roy Williams' Jayhawks of Kansas, ranked 4th in the country. Will that be a beauty from Allen Fieldhouse? That follows us at 9:30 tonight here on ESPN.
2 of the hot coaches in America, Lon Kruger and Roy Williams. Roy did a great job. They blew out Coppin State.
And Steve Hart threw it away, and the pressure got to him that time.
That pressure's going to come, but if you can beat that first wave, you're going to have 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s, and you're going to have to make those open shots.
Antoine Walker in for Kentucky. He'll inbound. He's out there with Shepard, McCarty, Prickett, and Delk. And it's Shepard. Great elevation. I told you about that earlier. Kid can really get up.
Yeah, he's got great legs, tremendous hops, excellent move down the lane. He's been playing really well for them.
Trap on Reed, and he bounces it off Shepard's leg in front of the Indiana bench.
What you have to do is you got to get that ball away from the trapping area by posting someone to the middle of the floor and then having a reverse man. You got to be able to find that reverse man and look diagonally, get it away from the trap.
Get it into Evans.
There's the reverse man, and there's the diagonal.
Now they got a 3-on-1. Patterson got it.
That is a clinic 101 by the General Robert Montgomery Knight on how to attack the pressure.
Cuts the lead down to 3.
And that's what you want to do. You want to put points on the board against you. You want to convert. You want to be able to attack it. Let's just bring it up the floor.
Walker had it rejected by Henderson. Beautiful block by Henderson. And now Reed stepped on the sideline, and Bob Knight didn't like the call.
Well, Bobby all over Tommy O'Neill. We worked in the NBA. Here goes Antoine Walker from out of Chicago. Hey, Henderson says, this isn't high school, baby. This is rejection city. Get it out of here, Antoine. Antoine Walker's got great moves offensively from out of Chicago, but excellent timing by Henderson.
Nice fronting job by Patterson to come up with that steal.
With wall you man theory, that's the Indiana defense. That's the principle of their defense.
McCarty all over Evans.
He knows Evans wants to shoot the 3, so you got to get right up in his face.
Again, Hart underneath. Patterson had a block by Prickett. Jump ball, possession arrow stays with Indiana.
See, to me, that's why I don't like that rule. You make a great defensive play, and you get penalized.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really ridiculous. Let's get rid of that rule. I said that last year. There's the dump down. Now watch the good rotation defensively. There's the grab. It's a jump ball situation, but it goes to Indiana. Let him throw the ball off.
He's got to hurry. Got it into Evans.
See McCarty right up over on him. He says, you got to shoot it over me.
Henderson on the cut. He's double teamed, and he walked with it.
Henderson's drawing 2 and 3 people. Every time he flashes to the basketball, Rick Pitino's defensive scheme is to double and triple team him. Now watch Henderson now. He's going to post up. He flashes to the ball. Now watch. Immediately, look at the traffic. Here comes Shepard. They're going to come down on him. You got Shepard, Prickett. Indiana with 5 turnovers. Oh, there's a back screen by Walker.
Walker walked with it.
He's feeling the pressure of the excitement of this game. He wants things to happen. And rather than letting them come to him, he's trying to force the action, Brad. He's going to be a great one, though. He's offensively so skilled.
Got to work on the defense. A long way to go in that area, Rick Pitino says. That's the way with a lot of young kids anyway.
Wide open, they miss Patterson all alone under the basket.
And Henderson waited too long. By the time he finally dished it to him, Shepard took it out of bounds.
Kentucky had 5 men rotating up by midcourt. No one was back, but no one from Indiana recognizes the open guy.
Hard on the inbound. He'll go straight to the hoop with it. And the tip in by Henderson.
Henderson, very athletic, quick. A great tip. Plays a little straight up and down.
13-12. Kentucky's lead has been sliced to 1, and Reed comes up with a steal.
Nice defensive play by Reed. Good look up.
Hart straight up baseline. There, he got one to go.
He's got to get one to fall down. You got to root for the kid. You know he needs that for his confidence.
That's the first Indiana lead.
Indiana might be the best 2-3 team in America all time.
Probably true. Walker lost the handle again. You're right. Walker is feeling the heat of a big-time crowd in a big-time game. Alan Henderson, the senior leader of the Hoosiers, has just given them their first lead of the night on that tip. It's 14-13 Hoosiers. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale of Freedom Hall in Louisville. Just under 12 minutes to go first half, and Indiana for the first time leads as they put a little stretch together. 6 straight points in the last couple of minutes for Bob Knight's Hoosiers.
Hey, you realize this. They haven't played at home yet. They go home for 4 games. They're going to build a lot of confidence. They have the longest winning streak in America, 44 in a row in Bloomington. You're not going to beat them too easily down there. I can guarantee you that.
Let's see how they do with a lead. A 1 quarter, 14-13.
Play against good people. That can set you for the conference schedule, and that's what Indiana does and Kentucky does. I like this kid. He's going to be a solid player, Reed.
He doesn't show that he's rattled at all, although he's got 1 turnover tonight. Snapping that string, as you said, of 2 straight games without one.
He's got a lot of poise.
Evans blasts his way in, and they're going to call a foul on him. I guess blast was the right word.
Yeah, a little bit out of control as he went down the lane. There's the general on the sideline. Robert Montgomery Knight not happy with the performance. They really missed Sharon Wilkerson. He would have been a star player for him this year. Broke that leg against Temple in the NCAA tournament. Will be out for the season.
They're going to redshirt him. He just hasn't been able to come back from that injury. At least not as quickly as they had hoped. Delk misses outside. Tony still looking for points.
Evans up there on the glass. Had 15 rebounds last year against Michigan and 14 against Wisconsin.
Here's Pat Knight in the ball game for the first time.
Excellent passer. His skill is to pass the basketball.
Here's who Dick was talking about, Sharon Wilkerson, and what he brought to the table last year, but that fractured left tibia against Temple last year. And although he tried to come back, it's too painful, and so they'll let him redshirt, and he'll be a key ingredient next year for the Hoosiers.
Bob Knight was telling Billy Reed of Sports Illustrated and yours truly in the locker room before the game that last year Wilkerson really played well against Kentucky. He was really a key player in that 96-84 win.
And this foul's going to be on Patterson.
Illegal screen. They call it an illegal screen. Indiana relies so much on screening, cutting, movement without the basketball. And I really believe, Brad, a lot of young kids out of high school have a real dilemma on moving without the basketball.
Epps, McCarty, Rhodes, Delk, and Pope on the floor for Kentucky. And they give it right back.
Pope is a transfer from out of Washington, University of Washington. He was Pac-10 freshman of the year. Had a strong sophomore year, averaged 14 a game. Patterson runs the ball down the court.
Can't find him yet.
They got to attack that trap.
And Reed will slow down and wait for the troops. 10.5 to go first half. 14-13 Indiana.
The team could become a problem as well. Kentucky rotates 11 players, and they could wear you out.
Indiana only 8 or 9 guys, and boy, I'm telling you, at this pace, you and I said during the last break, we'll be tired by the time it's over.
Nice pass.
Reed on the baseline has to bring it back out. They're going to have to hustle. 5 on the shot clock.
Patterson's got to go up strong with it.
There it is, but it misses the iron, and that would have been a shot clock violation, but McCarty lost it out of bounds.
Little air ball by Andre Patterson. He's got to become a much more better driver. He's got to go to the goal with the basketball and use his body and his strength and play a little bit tougher
McCarty gives a freebie to Indiana after this air ball. It's all Kentucky at that point, but whoops.
McCarty comes from the same high school as a former Hoosier superstar, Albert Chaney.
Yeah.
Evansville Harrison High School, sat the freshman year out, was Prop 48, played last year. I hate that number. It just hurts me to say it. I hate to label youngsters.
Discussion about the resetting of the shot clock, I think.
What do you think of the fashion, though? You look at Kentucky with those Armani specials, huh? Look at Reed right now trying to get open. He's their catalyst, the little guard, trying to run his man into some screens, picks up his dribble. That's one no-no. He has a tendency of picking his dribble up a little too quick. His dad is a coach. He's coaching right now. He's on the staff of Tim Floyd at Iowa State.
Yeah, they're going to get everything straightened out here. Jim Burr, John Clougherty, Tom O'Neill have been to the scores table. They've been to both coaches, and I believe it to be something about the shot clock, but we're going to have to wait and find out, I guess.
Rick Pitino was in rare form with us today. He was charming as ever. There's lots of stories about the NBA.
They're saying that the shot clock had expired and that the horn should have gone off. That would have been the violation, and that was not a ball lost out of bounds by McCarty because it should have been dead right there. So it's Kentucky basketball. We got it all straightened out. Now we're halfway through half number one.
There's that passing game, trying to get some excellent spacing. Both like to get a lot of motion.
Rhodes up high off the glass, followed by Pope.
I'll tell you, Pope, that's the second goal he has gotten tonight by attacking. No one blocking him out. Very impressive player.
Henderson on the run, and had it knocked away by Epps, probably a good foul, or it would have been a slam by Henderson.
When you look at Kentucky, the real question mark will be the development of Epps at that point guard slot. There's Rhodes taking the ball to the goal. Now here comes the follow. Watch Pope getting your screen. Here comes the big fella. Number 41 with the tip. Nobody lays a body on him.
That gives Kentucky the 1-point lead. Evans dishes underneath, wide open. Charlie Miller. Somebody blew an assignment inside on defense.
What a nice little ducking move by Charlie Miller without the basketball. A freshman from out of Miami. He was a big-time high school scorer.
Trying to play defense on Rhodes, and Rhodes with a nice dish. And again, it's Pope following McCarty's miss.
Pope is going to be one of those players they're going to love at Kentucky. He has great work ethic, plays really hard. There's the diagonal pass against the trap.
Evans wide open, got Pope in the air. Didn't take his shot, but Henderson does. And a 17-footer rolled out on him.
He's a rare, very, very soft rims here.
McCarty, loving that three.
He's a trifecta man. He wants to play out on a perimeter at 6'9".
He's got 2 threes.
See, last year Indiana in attacking the pressure had wing jump shooters with Leary and Bailey and Patrick Graham. They'll really miss that perimeter shooting.
Evans fouled by Pope.
Kentucky as well, you and I were talking about it. They've become more inside-oriented because of guys like Pope and Prickett and McCarty. If I had to rate the 5 best baselines in America, I would have Kentucky right there. Arkansas 1, then Kentucky, North Carolina, Massachusetts, and Maryland.
Roderick Rhodes, who had 2 early fouls, has stayed out of any further trouble. Brian Evans, see what he did from the free throw line in his last game.
He can stroke the ball. Indiana really tries to dominate on the free throw line. This year their numbers aren't as up as they've been in the past, where they've been so effective in really going to that free throw line so many more times than the opposition.
20-18. Kentucky with a lead in the ball. We've got 8.5 to go in the first half.
Indiana really working hard in their man-to-man defense.
Rhodes had a nice pick, didn't take the shot.
Rhodes very athletic.
Tony Delk right back to Rhodes. He's still looking for an open shot, and shove. Nope, lane violation.
Hart is doing a solid job defensively on Tony Delk. Delk is such a key player. He was outstanding last year in the SEC tournament when they had to beat Arkansas and beat Florida to win that tournament. Remember, Arkansas wins the national title and Florida's in the Final Four.
Jared Prickett in. McCarty will sit. Yeah, talking about Tony Delk, he's got as many points as his jersey number so far.
0-0. He's got the Valentine sign. He had 58 points during the tournament last year in 3 games.
Rhodes over Evans with a miss.
He's not bashful. He's really shooting the rock, Rhodes, huh?
Reed pushes it now. Wait for some help.
Indiana relies on swinging the basketball. They like to go side to side.
Evans flies in way too hard. Hart had good position for the rebound, but was a little out of control and lost it out of bounds.
Shot selection so important to Indiana. Not really a good shot, and Bobby Knight upset with it.
7:53 to go in the half. Kentucky by a deuce.
We fly down to the USA Arena, Big East, Providence, Georgetown. Michael Brown looking down low to Eric Williams, and Williams has been on fire for Pete Gillen's got 16. The Friars trying to go 5-0. They're up 9. They're up 6. We go back to Kentucky.
All right, Carl, thanks. Here it's Kentucky by 2 with 7:53 remaining in the first half. The front court scoring, both teams, has been impressive. The backcourt still trying to find it a little bit. Roderick Rhodes, 6 points, a couple early fouls. Right now, Indiana shooting 35% from the floor, Kentucky 39, so neither team that hot, but the pace of the game has made it seem like it's been better shooting than that.
Well, the pace of the game is so quick because of the traps by Kentucky speeding up the tempo of the game. Carl just mentioned Eric Williams. He's one of the real sleepers in America. He's a Rip Van Winkle for Providence. He can play.
Tony Delk without any points so far. Lost the handle going up. Charlie Miller comes out of the pile with it.
Charlie Miller eventually is going to be a solid player. Talking to Dan Dockage, the playing assistant coach, he really feels this kid's going to be a solid player once he learns the Indiana system. He's number 3, left-handed stroke.
There he is with Prickett on him. Trying to feed inside, and Prickett knocked it away. Nice defensive job. Don't forget, more hoops coming up tomorrow night. It'll be the #1 team in the country, North Carolina, against the Cats of Villanova. 7:30 game time. And here, Indiana and Kentucky at Freedom Hall.
Spoke to Michelangelo today. Dean Smith will see him tomorrow night. He's got an outstanding starting 5, but depth could be a problem.
Charlie Miller, nice spin off the glass with that one.
I think what really impressed me there with Charlie Miller was his movement without the basketball. I can't stress that enough. Remember, all these kids, when they were the #1 player in high school, they had the ball in their hands all the time.
And remember, he had the nice cut in the middle off the inbounds pass earlier, so he is moving well without the ball. Delk had another one blocked, got back the basketball, and it's stuffed again. Tony's struggling.
I would take Tony out for a minute or two just to rest him and then bring him back on the floor. He is really struggling offensively.
Rhodes, great lead for Prickett underneath.
Jared Prickett had a great freshman year, had a so-so sophomore year. Strong physical player. He had a big game against Massachusetts last year. 17 points, 15 rebounds.
Indiana's going to have to hustle a little bit.
Oh, you don't want to leave your feet like that. That's a no-no.
Well, they get it down court, but it was a struggle, and then they lost it right under the basket.
Not the way you want to attack pressure. Hang it in the air.
Epps trying to calm him down. He goes down on the cut on the baseline. Delk can't find it. Patterson the rebound.
Nice look by Epps.
And Indiana throws it away.
You're going to have that happen against Kentucky. What you have to hope for is that the turnover doesn't lead to a score by Kentucky.
There's Tony Delk, and still 00 has O tonight.
And he struggled against UCLA, so it could become a little confidence factor. He needs to knock down a 3, and he'll get his confidence going.
We're under 6 minutes first half. Kentucky leads by 2.
He's too good at offensive player. He can create his own shot as well off a dribble penetration. Here he is.
There's a 3. That one won't go either, but a nice follow by Prickett. Prickett and Pope have done a great job underneath with those follows.
Yeah, they really are. No one's blocking them out, Brad.
Here comes the ball over by you again. You're going to catch one eventually.
They better not hit my eye. You know I got a black eye right now. Wow, looks like Brad hit me with a left hook. Can't show my eye. I'm on the injured list.
It'd have to be a short right. You always take that side. There's Travis Ford.
Yeah, he ran the show, and he shot the 3 for him. See, there's nobody blocking out. Prickett and Pope really getting over on the glass.
Kentucky doing it with the guys underneath. A little bit different than in past years with guys like Travis Ford, who you just saw on the sideline. And Indiana gives it right back up. Patterson threw it away.
I think Patterson will be coming out in a moment or two. You can't turn the ball over playing for Indiana. There's 2 things he stresses: shot selection and solid defense. And he also, the third, you have to play hard. If you're going to wear the Indiana jersey, you're going to play hard. And you're not going to wear baggy shorts.
Antoine Walker on top. The freshman feeds it to Pope, and Pope may have pushed off trying to get position.
Walker is a skilled passer. Has a look at Mark Pope. He's got a crew cut. I had a crew cut like that when I was in high school. I really did. You don't believe me.
I'd like to see you with that buzz top.
I'm going to have to show you my senior picture in my yearbook. East Rutherford High School. I had that crew cut.
McCarty's going to check back in, and Pope will sit. And Andre Patterson will go to the free throw line. 4 points so far. First 3 games. He did really well in Hawaii. In the last couple games, he struggled.
And his minutes really were reduced. Bobby and I would like to see him become a little bit more aggressive, a little bit tougher physically. He can dominate on a high school level with that body. Certainly getting quality minutes here at Indiana.
27 points and 14 rebounds a game with that body as a high school senior.
Got a nice stroke right there as well. Good rotation.
He leads Indiana with 6. Gets him back to within 2.
It's amazing the way they've turned the ball over that you would think they'd be down 8 or 10.
Delk around a pick. There, finally went.
Oh, it's finally NBN. Nothing but nylon by Delk. And here's that full court 1-2-on-1 pressure. You got to look to the trail man. Now you're looking to post someone up or go up to the diagonal man.
Charlie Miller will try to bring it. He gets doubled at midcourt.
Don't want to pick that dribble up against that trap.
Reed all the way.
He did a great job slitting the trap and then attacking the goal. He really went right to the gut of the defense and got the conversion. I like him. He's a tough competitor.
And, Dick, there's 3 freshmen on the court for Indiana right now.
And they're going to get better and better and better with experience. Wait till they get home and play 4 games in Bloomington.
Reed, Miller, and Patterson out there with Evans and Henderson.
Oh, he missed Henderson. Feeding the post is an art. Miller had Henderson to the baseline and never got him the ball.
And they're going to call a foul on Henderson.
Comes from a great family. His dad's a doctor. His mother's an educator. Watch Reed split the double team. There he is. He splits the double team. Look at his heads up all the time. And he goes in, under control, lays it with the left hand on the glass.
That's the kind of thing Damon Bailey did for him last year. We said that 2 or 3 times, but that was key to just power your way through that double team. McCarty, this time Prickett tried to follow and a little too aggressive.
No question. The West Virginia star almost said yes to John McLeod in Notre Dame. The Irish beat Indiana, and a tough basketball came from behind.
Picks up his first foul, and it gives it back to Indiana with a chance to tie. We're just under 4 minutes. 3:53 to go first half from Louisville, Kentucky at Freedom Hall in what is supposed to be a neutral site game. And really, when you look around, the crowd is a little bit more blue in here than there is red, maybe, but it's split up pretty well. Evans missed a free throw.
Indiana not shooting on the free throw line like they've done in the past.
It's been tight the whole way. It remains that with 3:52 left first half. It's Kentucky by 2.
Kentucky up a deuce. We're going to take a look right now. Indiana attacking the trap. We're going to see the first trap right here. Freeze it. Look at the 2 big guys right here trapping. That's the first trap. Now we're going to see another trap. Miller gets the ball out of his hands, brings it to the sideline. Now look, here comes Walker. Freeze it. And there's another trap. But you know what? Watch the little guy go right down the gut of the defense. That's right. Reed says, hey, big guys, you can't trap me. I haven't used my dribble yet. And now he's going to split that trap, and he went right down the gut of the defense.
Always try to create a better trap is the theory of that one, I guess.
And you know what really makes their traps difficult in a way? They have so much size and agility with Walker at 6'10" on a trap. But you must attack that trap, and you must convert like Reed did in that sequence.
Both teams shooting 40%. Kentucky has 1 more rebound. Indiana has 1 more turnover, and thus the closeness we have. 26-24, Kentucky. Delk off the dribble. Tony's hit his last 2.
They run a little isolation one-on-one for Delk, and he creates offense with his dribble penetration.
You better be happy to watch him go over for the first 10 minutes, because if he starts filling it up, he can do that all night.
Epps very strong physically, doesn't have great speed, was a walk-on, was a football wide receiver, and they gave him a scholarship his freshman year.
Evans had it knocked away by Walker.
He wants the ball. He wants to be the little guy, the general. He should be the little general. Oh, what a nice dunk for Patterson.
They're going to call an offensive foul on Reed, out of control.
Jimmy Burr with the call, hanging in the air. Reed leaves his feet. His father's screaming right now, watching on TV. No, no, no. Look at Henderson trying to get free right here. There's Prickett staring at the basketball. Got to watch both. There's a screen by Knight. There's Henderson now, flash a little horizontal screen. McCarty picks him up.
Delk missed the 3. And on the battle for the rebound, McCarty picks up the foul.
Rick Pitino was telling us today that he believes this will ultimately be the best team he's had at Kentucky.
That's a pretty big statement.
Yeah, because they were 30-4 2 years ago with the Monster Mash, Jamal Mashburn, who I love, Massachusetts and Pittsburgh. There's Providence. Peter Gillen will do a great job. Gary Trent. What did Rick Pitino tell us today? He said, what a great
Top
three
five.
man he's going to be in the NBA. Really loved him.
Evans missed his last free throw, and he missed another.
Got to get a little more height. Patterson comes over and taps him on the butt and says, come on now. You look at Indiana, they don't wear. Bobby Knight says, you know, things have changed. He's getting past me, maybe, Dick. He said, we don't have the baggy pants, the black socks, the style of play. He said, maybe the 90s are not for me. Yeah, he'll still win his 20, 25
right.
every year.
Off to a 2-3 start right now, and lost 3 November games for the first time in history. They're not playing like a 2-3 club right now. Walker, 3 doesn't go, but again, it's Prickett. Somebody's got to block out Prickett or Pope when they're in there. They're going to do that all night.
That's incredible. That's not Indiana basketball defensively. That's usually the final phase of their defense, blocking out. There's that trap. Got to spread the court. Knight's a good passer. There's the excellent pass.
Reed for 3.
What an excellent look, though, by Patrick Knight. Tremendous bounce back, and Reed delivers.
He leads the club in assists, does Knight, and he helps get a tray there for Reed.
There really are 3 parts to their defense. Usually put pressure on the basketball, beat the cutter to the ball, and then block out. They are not blocking out here tonight.
Walker for 3, and he's got the answer on the other end.
He's an offensive machine for a big player. He is so skilled offensively. Antoine, the Magic Man Walker.
Reed again splits the double team. Kentucky makes it an effort every trip down. That's
nice
for
pass.
sure. Patterson had it rattle out, dealt the rebound.
Rick Pitino said, I'm not saying he's a Magic Johnson, but he's got Magic Johnson passing skills for a big player, Antoine Walker.
Dealt. And 3 came out. McCarty trying to save it and can't.
Checking in number 23, Steve Hart.
Boy, it's only 1 minute and 16 seconds away from halftime. And Carl Ravitch will be back at halftime to give you the Delta Faucet halftime report.
It's going too quick. There's a look at Rick Pitino, 1987. Took Providence to the Final Four. Look at the baseball pass.
Nice interception by Prickett, though.
Yeah, he didn't get it out enough. He didn't make like Joe Montana and lead him.
Prickett now on offense. Trying to back his way in. Ball comes loose. It'll still be Kentucky ball. We mentioned coming up at halftime, Delta Faucet halftime report. Carl will have the highlights of Providence and Georgetown and a preview of Florida and Kansas. That one will follow us tonight on ESPN. That's all coming up at halftime.
See great team defense when you watch Florida play.
Nice outlet. Hart against Delk one-on-one. He's going to wait for help. Evans gave up a 3, and Walker blocked his 2.
Indiana really not getting the spacing they normally get offensively, and that's really created by the havoc that is instilled by that pressure that Kentucky plays.
45 on the game clock, and now down to 17 on the shot clock for Indiana.
They don't allow you to get into your offensive sets. They really have each player scouted so well. They know who can shoot, who cannot shoot. Like, see Evans right now. They'll get right in his face.
That didn't help.
Nice screen. I don't know how he got that off because they were right up on him.
33-30. Kentucky by 3, and they'll play for the last shot. And now the Indiana fans come to life for their defense. And Delk will just dribble around near midcourt until we get to about 10 seconds, and here we go.
Hart can play defense now. He's a tough defensive player. He's got great athletic skills. Oh, I thought he walked.
Delk had it blocked by Henderson. Prickett, turn around. No good at the buzzer.
That was a great team effort defensively by Indiana. They were in a proper position. They helped out. They pressured the basketball. This half went too fast, Brad.
2 well-coached, hustling teams with a good half of basketball. At the break, it's Kentucky 33, Indiana 30. Let's head back to the studio and Carl Ravitch.
All right, Brad, thanks very much. Got a good game going on there. A good
More inside oriented. They're 3 for 13, which shows that Rick Pitino told us today that he wanted to take about 24, 25 three-point attempts. They've been averaging about 16.7 per game. And as we know, they're bombers, though, when you have Travis Ford and company, they can shoot the rock. This club is a little bit different in terms of its composition.
may have been also the fastest first half we've done in quite some time.
Oh, it flew. It absolutely flew. I got all my material here, all the work I did. I can't use any of it.
Well, we'll see what happens in the second half. Kentucky with the ball and a 3-point lead. Rhodes working on Henderson. Two of the best in the country right there. Dealt 3 outside. Pope in the right spot again. He didn't score it, but he did draw the foul.
It's amazing that Indiana's not blocking out. You watch Indiana play, there are 4 parts, as I said, to their defensive game. Number 1, you deny the ball, you pressure the ball, you beat cutters to the ball, and you block out. They are not blocking out, which simply means you stay between your man and the glass.
Front court scoring in this one for Kentucky. They've done virtually everything inside.
Last year they got bumped by Marquette in the second round of the NCAA tournament down at Tennessee as they missed the free throw, and that certainly helped Kevin O'Neal get that job. He showcased his abilities down at Tennessee. Hey, what a women's program. You talk about a super program. Pat Summitt's got one dynamite team.
This routed Stanford last week, the number 2 team in the country. Pope with the free throws.
There's that quick pressure. McCarty up on top at 6'10". They'll try to take you to a trapping area. Indiana wants to spread the floor. They want to spread the floor to make the trap difficult to put on. Oh, Reed did a nice job of a duck and move to come back out and get the ball.
Certainly showing a lot of poise for a freshman.
Having a tough time getting Henderson the ball, and anytime he gets it, they double up on him.
Was he ever double teamed, and he threw it away. Epps on the fly. Evans trying to stop him. And he blocked the shot, but he got him with a body.
Epps doesn't have what you call good open court speed. He's not a super quick player, but he's an intelligent kid who makes some good decisions in transition, and he can make the open shot. Shepard's going to get a lot of playing time at that point as well. Watch Henderson right now. He's going to draw attention. We watch him post up right here. Freeze it. Look at him right here. He gets the ball in the lane, and now there's the double up, and now he kicks it back out, makes a bad pass. Joe Smith at Maryland's running into that now, has to improve as a passer because they really like to double down on him down at Maryland.
Anthony Epps, that's his first point. And Rick Pitino says maybe the most improved player he's seen over the summer as far as how hard he worked on his game. Dick mentioned a great football player in high school. He led the state of Kentucky in receiving as a high school senior. Here he is playing basketball.
There's the trap. Bill Curry got to call him up. They can use some help in football. There's a guy you root for. You root for Bill Curry. What a great class guy. Oh, nice move.
Nice move.
Oh, nice move. Head, shoulder. Wow.
Roderick Rhodes the other way.
Nobody gets back defensively. No defensive balance in transition. Rhodes comes back, runs it right up the court. He's going to be a solid NBA player because of the 24-second clock and because of the speed of the game.
Nice move by Henderson, baseline, and a good follow by Evans.
Evans hanging around. Nobody puts a body on him, and that happens when you're trapping and scrambling open guys. I think this will be Rhodes' last year in college. I look for him to be a middle first-round draft pick.
Here he is, ball in hand with Henderson on it. This is more the kind of pace we had throughout the first half. Pope backing in, wheeling on Patterson, and kicks it back out to Epps for 3. Rebound Evans. Indiana's 3-on-3. Hart trying to run it down, and Rhodes knocked it away.
Hart has got great speed, great athletic ability. He can jump. He's got good lateral speed. Evans, good offensive player. Now here he's in triple threat position. There's the head fake. Oh, you left something on the ground, Tony. Tony Delk left something on the ground, Brad.
Lindemann checks in, and Henderson comes out.
His minutes have really diminished. They want him to be a lot tougher on the inside. Lindemann, a 7-footer.
Delk got his man up, worked for a 2-point shot.
Evans really working on the glass.
Yes, he is.
He's a better rebounder than people give him credit to be.
He had 5 in the first half to go with his 9 points, and now it's 13 points and a couple more boards this half. Almost walked with it there.
Shot 45% last year from 3-point range.
Here he is, just inside the 3-point circle. That one, I think, deflected en route. And the Indiana bench is going to come up, and they just made a mistake on which direction they were. Can't you see Bob Knight with the eyes?
Bobby Knight exploded. So did Ron Felling. Look at the general on that sideline.
John Cloggerty just quite simply pointed in the wrong direction, and that brought not only all the fans in that corner, but the whole Indiana bench up. Reed missed outside, and Patterson keeps it alive.
Patterson's got to learn to catch the ball down in deep and spin to the basket with it. Drop step moves He's got to post and go up strong to the goal.
There it is. It rolls out, but the tip by Hart will go.
That's that athletic ability of Hart. He's a guard, but he's got great legs. If he could only learn how to put the ball down from 15 feet, he'd be a heck of a player.
Rhodes outside, his three. Won't go, and Indiana with a chance to tie this trip.
Rhodes shooting the ball a little too quickly. He's not really a consistent shooter. Who said Indiana's finished? Who said Indiana's down 2 and 3? You better believe it. Come and look at them in January.
You're going to beat them, you better do it early.
They'll be in a hunt in the Big Ten.
13 on the shot clock, 16 and a half to go in the ball game. 38-36 for the tie. Comes out, rebound to Pope. They leave Hart wide open, and he can't nail that outside jumper.
There's that open shot we're talking about, how Hart gets free out of the Indiana system with a good screen, but he doesn't convert.
Rhodes worked baseline, drew a foul.
Rhodes is a driving, slashing player who's a streaky perimeter shooter. Played on those great St. Anthony teams with Bob Hurley, Terry DeHare, Jerry Walker. Look at Rhodes right now, one of the tough defensive players in the SEC. There he is playing Evans. Now he's going to get over the top of the screen. I mean, he's going to get right up on him. Look at Rhodes. He says, you're not going to touch the ball. Evans, get away from the goal. I'm not going to let you touch the rock.
Remember, he had 2 early fouls, and I'm talking about in the first 2 minutes of the game. He's stayed away from foul trouble since then. Here's a guy that does have some foul trouble. Evans goes out with 3.
Yeah, that's big because they're not a very deep team. Can you imagine a high school team, though, with Rhodes, Hurley, and DeHare? Bob Hurley, senior, coached that club.
Again, Indiana brings it down with a chance to draw even. Patterson squares up on Prickett. He'll work underneath. Henderson. Now Patterson. We are tied, and Indiana with a chance to go in front.
Andre Patterson gets up on the offensive board. A little bumping going on. Little high five to his diaper dandy teammate. Indiana needs to get back home, get some W's, and get a lot of confidence. And this game certainly should help them as they're hanging here. I think a lot of people thought they were going to get blown out here tonight. There's Patterson working on the glass.
The last time Indiana led was with 9:41 left in the first half. And we're tied for only the second time tonight at 38.
Kentucky's got to make a few more passes. Rhodes is catching it, and Susie's catching it. He's shooting it.
Lindemann the board.
They're not making that second and third pass at all, Brad. It goes to the wing, up it goes to the basket.
Nice feed in low. Henderson.
Nice post move. Allen Henderson with a little slide, duck and move. They drop it. Indiana by 2.
That's their biggest lead, if you can believe that.
And they're going wild in Bloomington, baby.
Rhodes trying to split a double team. McCarthy for 3. Hart way up there for the rebound, but he lost the handle coming down. Kentucky ball.
Michael Herman is going to help this. Hey, Brad, take a look at his dance right here. Roderick's leading the dance. Look at him. He's hugging him down in the post. He just wants the ball to this side, and he's going to get it. Henderson says, you can't play me, Roderick. Get out of here, Roderick. I'm too big. I'm too quick. I'm too explosive. What a great entry. I thought he was doing a little dance there.
It was a little dozy-do he had working.
Yeah, a little waltz time.
But Henderson dozy-doed for the deuce, and it is Indiana by a deuce. 40-38. Rhodes will get a breather.
There's Rick coaching at every moment. He's a tremendous motivator, teacher. It is such a thrill watching Rick Pitino at practice. What a marvelous job he does. I love watching Kentucky practices.
Shepard and Harrison now in the Kentucky backcourt. A foul in low is going to be on Lindemann. Second half, Kentucky really struggling.
Look at the
from
offensive
the floor.
rebounds. Indiana 7-1. It was really.
That's helped him on that 10-2 run the last 3.5 minutes.
I think the general must have been all over him about that because they got really pounded on the glass offensively by Kentucky.
Shepard came up.
And what do we got?
Arrow goes Indiana's way.
I'll tell you, it's always special coming here for a game like this. Seeing Rick Pitino on one sideline, the general Robert Montgomery Knight on the other sideline, looking at the red shirts, the blue, the fans. I mean, this is basketball hoops heaven.
This is a great place to do a game, too. The crowd's close to you, and if you have the luck and the wherewithal, I guess, to have a skybox. The skyboxes are down low here, so you do have a good seat.
There's that movement of the ball. Knight's such an excellent passer, runs the ball to the sideline.
Patterson had a shot blocked.
See, Patrick would be much more effective if he played with guys like Leary and Graham who could shoot the ball.
Antoine Walker.
He shows his range as a shooter. We're looking at a 6'9" freshman who can play on a perimeter.
Both his field goals have been threes for his 6 points, and he puts Kentucky again in front by 1.
He was brilliant in Sonny Vaccaro's Magic Round Ball Classic last year.
Henderson goes square up on McCarthy and buried it.
Rick Pitino told us today he'll be a top 5 selection. He said he can shoot the ball, he can play on the inside, he rebounds, and he's tougher than what he looks physically.
He had 3 block shots in the first half, too. Shepard trying to draw a foul. That was an off-balance jumper, not the greatest shot.
I think Kentucky's searching for combinations. That's one of the dilemmas when you have 10 players trying to find the right combination at the right time. It's a nice problem to have, though.
Sure is. Indiana leads by 1. We're under 14 minutes to go in this one.
Shepard was trying to deny the ball, not let Reed get the ball, knowing that he's the point guard. He's the guy that really is the catalyst in their offense.
Patterson out to Knight. Somebody's going to have to put one up. Knight better hurry. He might be the guy. He will be. He at least got the rim, and Patterson kept it alive.
Offensive rebound again.
Reed for 3.
And that was a long 3. That's an NBA 3. An old NBA 3.
And Indiana leads by 4.
Kid from Metairie, Louisiana.
They're cheering down in the bayou. Walker trying to answer and comes up short with a tray. Lindemann clears it off.
I'll tell you, watching 6'9s and 10 shooting threes, sometimes you wonder if they shouldn't go inside and use their great skills. But they're so multidimensional in the modern era.
Henderson double team, still got the shot away. It comes out on it. Knocked away by Lindemann. It'll be Kentucky ball. 3-pointers in the game. Kentucky 4 out of 18. Wow. Indiana 2 for 5.
I'll tell you, you need balance between, I think, today and the 90s. Balance between your baseline game and your perimeter game. But I think it's very difficult to win big today in a modern-day era without a 3-point attack. Look at a hurt Massachusetts on Pittsburgh. Wow.
Check other scores around the country. Here it's 45-41, Indiana.
Ralph Willard, former assistant to Rick Pitino, did a great job at Western Kentucky.
Delk's back in there for Kentucky, and I still think that if he gets warmed up, you better watch out for him.
Yeah, he's so explosive, and he's really been struggling. They had that tough loss to UCLA. J.R. Henderson was brilliant on the free throw line for Jimmy Herrick's club. The freshman made 8 for 8. Eddie O'Bannon was sensational.
That was an offensive foul on Antoine Walker. That gives the ball back to Indiana.
Yeah,
nice job.
Yeah, he did a great job cutting off the defensive play.
And he feeds Lindemann on the baseline.
That was an excellent play by the point guard. The little kid from Metairie, Louisiana. A star is being born in a Hoosier uniform.
And Rick Pitino wants it stopped right now.
Pitino says, get a TO, baby. We need a TO, baby.
12 minutes, 28 seconds remaining, and Indiana has gone out in front by 6.
To beat Kentucky, you must attack their pressure. Indiana has now found the answer in the guard. We're going to watch him right here. Freeze it. See, right here, he's going to split this trap as they're going to try to put a trap here, but he's going to go right between them. Watch the little guy, Reed. There he is. Now watch him under control. Freeze it. Ah, yeah, he's cut. See right here, all you little kids, he doesn't leave his feet. He keeps his feet planted. He looks right. He looks left. He kicks the ball to Lindemann, and Lindemann gets the score against Kentucky, where they try to wear you down. They try to trap, force the turnover, convert on the other end. You must attack and have an answer for their trap.
47-41. Bob Knight's Hoosiers up by 6.
And he knows that Rick Pitino's club is going to make another run. This game is right now in a situation where you're looking at some spurts, and Kentucky is an outstanding spurt basketball team.
Indiana's spurt in the last 6 minutes is 15-3.
And the guy that's got to pick it up is Tony Delk. They got to find a way to get him free for some jumpers and some drives. He's a big-time scorer, 0-0. And he's got to look for a shot. There's the passing game. They're making the extra pass now. It's not one pass and a shot.
There's Tony Delk on the baseline.
And he's the guy that they got to go to. He's their big scorer.
There he goes.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
Now the pressure on Indiana. And Reed on the bottom of the pile. Jump ball called, no foul called.
Rick Pitino wants the walk-in violation, but no one really has possession of the ball. Now we're going to watch Tony Delk. He's going to lay a little screen here. Then he's going to flare out to the corner. Now he's got Patrick Knight one-on-one. He's going to change direction. Great front change. There's the baseline little jumper. He's a scorer. He can create his own shot.
Tonight, 6 points out of 3 for 15 Knight. Kentucky's hustle on defense forced that possession arrow, and they get this one. On a time when they need it, they still trail by 4. Delk around a pick. He walked before he got going on that move.
For IU, checking in 34, Brian Evans.
Evans comes back in, 13 points and 8 rebounds, but he does have 3 fouls. And Patterson also will come back in, and Lindemann will sit.
Both clubs so well coached. It's been so documented. You can't win like those two guys have won and not be excellent on that side. Look at that
What a steal by Rhodes, but he stepped down the baseline.
You got to step to the basketball. If you're Indiana, you got to reduce the lane. You got to really step to the ball. Got to cut off that passing lane.
For Indiana, it's Reed, Evans, Patterson, Hart, and Henderson.
Oh, he missed Patterson diagonally. Had to give it to him a little sooner.
Almost missed Henderson, too. Gets the ball back now. He gets underneath the Hart, and it's blocked by Rhodes. Another jump ball. The possession arrow will keep it this time, and Indiana's in.
And there's a no-no again. Kentucky makes the great defensive play, and they don't get the ball.
Don't forget 4th-ranked Kansas home to number 6 Florida in our nightcap. 9:30 tonight. Ron Franklin and Larry Connolly laying wait at Allen Fieldhouse. We'll be to that one in about 11.5 minutes. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale here. Freedom Hall in Louisville. It's 47-43 Indiana.
Speaking of Dean Smith today, he's so proud. You can feel the pride that he has in Roy Williams today, the way he was talking about Kansas.
Lob.
Oh,
Henderson
nice
with a nice catch and a nice adjustment.
Nice adjustment is right. He had to keep his balance and poise. Good hands. Excellent high-low entry.
Again, Indiana matches that 6-point margin.
Kentucky getting a little bit more movement offensively now. Passing, laying some screens, all of Indiana's offense.
Trying the entry pass kicked away by Reed.
When you have motion offensively, 2 things that really happen when you have motion. Number 1, you create a lot of opportunities for the jump shot and also for cuts to the basket. And for years, that man we just looked at has been a master in teaching the screening and cutting.
Delk around a pick. Adjusted his shot and got it to go.
Tony Delk, we talked a little bit earlier how he's going to have to pick it up offensively and give him that spark, that emotional lift. And he's responding to the challenge. A veteran player, averaged 16.8 a game last year.
Patterson with a foul. Here's the move by Delk, leaning in and kissing it off the glass. Chance for a 3-point play for Tony Delk.
He was a prolific scorer in high school out of Tennessee. Brownsville, Tennessee, played at Haywood High School. His freshman year, they tried to make a point guard out of him, and he had a tough time. Moved into the 2nd slot, and he became a star.
He led the state in scoring both his junior and senior seasons. His 3-point plays made it a 3-point game. And Rhodes with a push.
Rick Pitino can't believe it. He's doing a ballerina. He just did a dance out of Louis Carnesecca. I thought I was watching Carnesecca. And there's Bobby Knight. He said, I'm just like Santa Claus. He said, I'm overweight. I'm great with kids.
And I'm wearing red.
And I'm wearing red.
Well, Rick Pitino thought that was a little bit of a coal in the stocking call by the officials, but he's going to get it right back. Here's Pitino's reaction to the foul call on Roderick Rhodes. He said, no, man, that was a double dribble. What are you talking about?
Look at him doing a dance. That's the Tarantella. Come on, Rick, jump to your seat. Hey, he's playing musical chairs. He says, that's my seat. I win the prize. Rick Pitino, does he put his heart and soul into every moment on that sideline? You got to love him.
Both coaches are fun to watch. For the tie, Rhodes doesn't get it. Evans clears it off.
Rhodes really struggling shooting the ball.
He and Delk both will have better nights than this, that's for sure. Almost a midway point of the 2nd half of this game. 49-46 Hoosiers. And a foul on Indiana. Might be on Henderson trying to get position, I guess.
There's Jimmy Burr with the call.
Henderson's second.
Bobby Knight, such a fierce competitor, loves the gymnasium, loves to teach, loves to be on that practice floor.
Epps trying to free up Delk. Delk is weaving all over the place, but Steve Hart staying with him.
You can feel that intensity sitting here.
Nice feed into Pope. Henderson blocked it. Another jump ball. Possession arrow keeps it on Kentucky's end.
As another example, defense makes a great play, they get penalized. The rules committee's got to wipe that rule out. Take a look right now. Here comes Henderson. He makes a great defensive block. There he is right on the basketball. But the rule says alternate possession, Kentucky gets the ball.
Epps has tied it.
And Epps says, I can shoot the rock if you allow me to shoot it. We said they're going to make a run, Kentucky, and you've seen it.
Here they come, tied at 49.
Indiana trying to spread the court, bringing the ball away from the traps. They got to get some poise right now. They need to score here. Momentum has swung. Uncle Mo is on Kentucky's side.
Henderson, that'll quiet things down.
And when you got an All-American and you got a super player who played on the USA Goodwill's games team with George Raveling coaching.
He had only 2 points at halftime. Now he's got 10 to go with 4 blocks and a bunch of rebounds. Roderick Rhodes thought about that. Instead, he slices his way and leaves it on the baseline. Now it's McCarty for 3. Got it!
Can't allow him to shoot the rock, baby. That net's beginning to burn. You better call up the fire chief.
And Freedom Hall starting to warm up considerably.
This is college basketball in December. This is excitement galore, baby.
Henderson trying to weave to the baseline. Got his shot off. Count it.
What an All-American play. He makes the big jumper when they needed in the last possession. He said, now I'm going to go down in the box inside and show you I can post up. There he is with Rhodes, a great defender playing him, but doesn't have the size to stop him. And now he's going to spin on the baseline, and he takes on Rhodes, and he takes on Pope, and you count it. There's Rick Pitino. Look what he's saying. This is how, look, he's backing in. He's backing in. Look at Rick Pitino working the zebras.
Alan Henderson, quiet in the first half. He's exploded for 10 this half. And he got the three-point play.
I told you at the shoot-around today, put 20 in your book right now. I don't care what it's all said and done. He will get his 20.
Came in averaging 23. And he's more than halfway there. Delk had a momentary pick. Tried to feed it into Pope, and it knocked away by Patterson.
Yeah, he telegraphed that pass. That was a Marconi special. He telegraphed that, baby.
Indiana with a 2-point lead. 8:20 left in the game.
Patterson really trying to learn how to set those screens. Doesn't set it with authority. Number 45.
Reed and Shepard really going at it as Reed was going around several screens. I think Shepard got a hold of him.
Shepard's from out of your territory down there in Georgia. Peachtree, Georgia. There it is. Now look at Reed trying to get free. Look at Shepard right now trying to get over the top of the screen. He's trying to get over the top.
They call that one on Rhodes for that chicken wing he stuck out there, and he's got 4.
Yeah, it was on Rhodes, too. They nailed it. They could have called it a little bit earlier. Jim O'Brien, an assistant coach, used to be the head coach at Dayton. Rick Pitino's put so many guys to the big time. Stu Jackson.
Got a hustle on the inbound. Evans did get it in and got it right back. And had it stripped away by Tony Delk. Kentucky with a 3-on-1.
He's got Pope.
He's got Shepard.
Oh, Shepard's got great legs. You were right, Brad. He's got tremendous legs. Look at this. Evans, nobody comes back. Oh, Evans up and away. Hey, he's the Delta man. He loves to fly and he shows it.
56-54.
Wow, this is excitement, baby. I don't even want my check. Are you kidding me?
This game's up the big seats if we're talking airlines.
They should pay us for this.
Walker kicks it out. McCarty is Trey. That one doesn't go.
Henderson is really playing possessed on the offensive end and the defensive end. If I were right now, I'd back it out. I'd go to 44. I'd say, you're our All-American. We're going to get you to rock, baby. 44.
Reed for 3. Little too strong.
Henderson keeps it alive.
Patterson had it stripped by McCarty, and Pope comes clean out to Shepard. 3-on-2 Kentucky. Shepard straight up.
Oh, score the basket. Score the basket. Not a good play right there. Andre Patterson, not a good play right there. That would not have went in.
We've got a timeout. 7 minutes, 6 seconds left. We're about where we started. We're dead even. Tied at 56. .706 left in the game, tied at 56 as we look at the Microsoft storyline. Second half rebounding, all Indiana. And Henderson, who only had 2 points in the first half, has come to play in the second half with 11 points. He also has 4 block shots Kentucky's front court was dominating in the first half, and they have not played that way in the second half with only 6 points. Roderick Rhodes, 4 fouls, and has struggled from the field as well.
Yeah, he really's had a tough time shooting the open jump shot from the wing, but his slashing and quickness is his forte. Henderson started to become much more active offensively. He's going to have to want the ball and move to it because defenses really are geared to stop him. He's not going to get it that easily.
This is going to be a fun 7 minutes and 6 seconds of regulation. We'll put it that way. You never know.
Here's the reverse man. And now he's swinging to the side. He has 3 men on the baseline here. Actually, you don't call it baseline. Backcourt. Kind of spreading the floor.
Hart, Reed, Patterson, Henderson, and Evans on the floor for the Hoosiers. Evans working on Prickett on the baseline. Nice dish to Patterson, and he got it.
That was an excellent look by Evans. Patterson likes to shoot that little jump shot. He's got to add a little bit more in terms of going to the basket, using his quickness and his strength of his body and exploding to the goal.
Shepard around a pick. 3 won't go. Walker keeps it alive.
That's a big-time offensive rebound. We're looking at a diaper dandy who can play on a perimeter, who can rebound, handle the basketball.
Here's Reed trying to go through the double team and succeeding as Epps fouls him. Reed is a tough-looking kid.
He really is. And you think about playing 80 minutes like he did against Evansville and Notre Dame, and he did not turn the ball over one time. You know, Indiana's a lot like the Fighting Irish are in football. Bobby Knight was talking a little bit about that tonight, saying every time we play, people come to another level of us. Here goes Anquan Walker. There's the follow, the great offensive rebound out of Mount Carmel High School in Chicago. He's out of Chi-Town. Said he needed a lot of discipline, and Rick Pitino is giving it to him. Mashburn was very similar to that when he arrived.
He had all the great credentials, but Rick Pitino said everybody thought he had a bad attitude. I think he's a great kid to coach. 58 apiece. We're under 6 minutes to play. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale, Freedom Hall in Louisville.
Prickett checking Henderson. As you get deeper and deeper in the game, you got to rely on your number 1 and 2 options, and he certainly is their first option.
2 on the shot clock.
That was a bad shot, though. He forced that, baby.
Tony Delk comes down with the ball. That's a shot clock violation, I think.
Yeah, shot clock violation, no question. Didn't make any contact with the rim.
Second time that's happened in the game.
And that's why Henderson shot the ball. Now here he is trying to get position inside, number 44 against Prickett. See, when he was open there, they missed him. They should have had him maybe a split second earlier.
Second Indiana shot clock violation of the game, 1 in each half.
Kentucky was down 6, but this guy made a couple of big hoops.
Delk over Hart, but Hart went too high defensively. May have got a piece of that, and Henderson pulls down the ball.
That's the strength of Hart. He's a tough defensive player because he's got great legs. He's quick to the ball. He can only add a little offense to his game.
And a foul on Prickett as Evans made the cut.
Indiana, not a deep team, as is like we talked about North Carolina. In fact, they may lose Pat Sullivan for a long period of time today. Dean was telling me with a back injury. He said we only got 7 guys that had scholarship offers in Division I. I said, yeah, there's a lot of teams out there. I'll trade you their 14 scholarship guys for your 7.
That's right. Brian Evans out of Terre Haute, Indiana.
Terre Haute, that's how you say it, Terre Haute. I worked on it all day. You helped me with that, Terre Haute.
He's got 16 points and 9 boards, both game highs right now for Evans. And Bob Knight said earlier in the season, he said, number 34 better learn how to guard somebody or he'll be sitting next to me for the next 30 games. Well, I guess he has done that. And he is definitely a force on the offensive end.
I'll tell you one thing, if he sits next to the general all year long, they'll have a long, long season. They need his rebounding and his scoring.
60-58, Indiana.
And I'll tell you one thing, he's working a lot harder on his defensive end because he got the message from the general. He said, I need defense on a unit Henderson.
Walker.
He's a big-time offensive player. Rick Pitino said he was as good as any high school kid offensively.
Now he picks up the cheap foul, though.
That's the area he has to work on. On the defensive end, he's really, really limited.
Don't forget Sunday night from the Georgia Dome. It'll be Jim Everett and the New Orleans Saints and Jeff George and the Atlanta Falcons. 8 o'clock is game time. And Jim Everett having a rebirth of sorts down in the Bayou. Over 3,000 passing yards and 17 touchdowns. And Jeff George is the guy that makes the run and shoot go if it's going to go for June Jones and the Falcons.
Somebody better introduce the Falcons to a wide receiver by the name of Andre Rison.
They sure haven't been getting it to him.
He never touches the ball.
Terrence Mathis has all their receptions right now.
Paying him all that cash. Give him the basketball so he showboats and he causes problems. Let him earn his cash. There's a look at Bobby Knight. Ron Fellings on his left. Brad Bombay, the team doctor, was on his right. He's a young man that's played really well for Indiana. He's certainly a key player. Neil Reed at that point guard slot.
11 points for Reed. Part of the Indiana AAU team that won the national championship.
Bobby Knight really high, singing his praises. Said his dad is a solid basketball man, now working on the staff at Tim Floyd at Iowa State.
Reed got them both and gives Indiana the 2-point lead. 4:44 left.
One consistency you'll get out of Indiana is using tough defense.
McCarty left wide open for three. You can't do that, but he missed badly.
I think he was too wide open. A lot of times shooters don't like to see that open shot. They'd rather have a little pressure on him.
Indiana with a lead. Their fans on their feet.
Right now, Henderson's the man. You got to go to him. They get him for an offensive foul, trying to post inside.
That's 3 on Henderson.
The points of emphasis this year is post play, not allowing the offensive player to use the swing move or use the swimming move down in the post there. Oh, he got belted right there. Nobody called it. Henderson says, what about the first belt I took? Look at Rick Pitino. 1987, Providence Final Four. That was the year Indiana cut the nets down. Syracuse lost that heartbreaker out in New Orleans. Bobby Knight's cut him down three times.
Yep. Here's McCarty at the free throw line.
76 had that great team led with Quinn Buckner and Wilkerson and May and Abernathy. I thought that team with Benson was the best college team I've ever witnessed play as a team, offensively and defensively.
McCarty is up his free throw percentage the last couple of years, and he hits both there. They were huge. Ties it at 62.
Then he immediately steps to the ball. He and Antoine Walker, two 6'10" guys with long arms.
Reed's in trouble in the corner.
Got to get a timeout there if you're that deep in trouble.
He knocked it off Walker's knee and out of bounds.
Everybody ran away from the ball. You got to have one guy, one step behind the line of the ball as the reverse man.
And now they will have to hustle to get it up court. I think they've only got about 2 to 3 seconds right now. We'll see what Evans does with it. Might want to go deep. Go anywhere. Got it to Reed.
Kentucky really applying that relentless, tenacious pressure.
Ron Clockerty telling the Kentucky bench to sit down.
Yeah, he's got all his assistants up there. Winston Bennett, Delray Brooks, who played for both. He played for Bob Knight, and he played for Rick Pitino. He was Michigan City Rogers High School, Mr. Basketball.
I think they got to throw long now, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
They've only got about a second or so to get this thing down court. Well, I don't see a call. The shot clock's down to 20 seconds. That's 15 right there. I mean, unless I miss something.
I'm blind in my left eye here, and I can't.
4:09 left in the game, and we're all tied up at 62 apiece. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale, Freedom Hall in Louisville with 4:09 left. We're tied at 62, and let me update you on what went on. I'm the one that said, when's the 10-second call going to be made? Jim Burr, one of the officials, came over and said it's a fresh 10 when the ball is knocked out by the defense. So it's 10 seconds again now down on the baseline. So we wanted to correct what I erroneously said should have been a violation. Now they do get it down court.
Oh, what a great way of releasing a set play. They release Reed for the layup. Tremendous. And they get a technical. Grabbing the rim, I guess.
Yep. That could hurt big time.
Point of emphasis this year, not allowed to grab that rim. But what a great job Indiana did to spring Reed free for the layup. They knew that there was going to be all kinds of pressure on Reed. They laid a screen and released him for the layup.
So the technical on Reed. And Epps on the other end.
Epps with the conversion. see, Neil Real got nailed for the technical for slapping the ball away. Not allowed to do that. Wasn't grabbing the rim.
Couple of huge free throws.
We're going to take a look at right here. There's Reed scoring. Now watch this play right here. They freeze the play. Now watch the ball here. And watch what happens. See, pops it away. That's a technical. You can't do it. That's a T, baby. Great call by Jimmy Barr.
And it has tied the game up. And now McCarty on the drive, and he takes one in the face from Henderson. Henderson picks up his fourth.
This is the way it's supposed to be in December. Two-storied programs, two-storied coaches. You're supposed to come down to winning time with the game on the line. This is what we call crunch time. This is winning time. This is when all the special players rise.
McCarty to the free throw line.
I look at that bench. I mean, I look at guys like Winston Bennett, Delray Brooks on that sideline. Medina wishes they can get out there and play.
McCarty's drained his 3 free throws. He has 12 points.
Indiana did a great job, though, Brad, in that special situation, attacking that pressure, releasing Reed for the layup. They know that he's going to face tremendous pressure.
2-point Kentucky lead.
They're taking Reed away from the basketball now. They'd rather get him the ball up here. That's a smart move. Let the big guy bring the ball down, and then Reed step to the ball so he can have the ball in an effective area on the floor.
Reed had a notion from three-point land. 12 on the shot clock.
Most dangerous guy is the screener.
Nice feed to Henderson.
Evans made the screen, stepped out from the screen, and a little two-man play. He and Henderson. And that's what you want late in the game. You want your number 1 and number 2 options to take command.
Tied at 66.
You're going to lose, you want to lose with your best.
Delk trying to post up hard. What's that about?
And that's another star, the number 1 option. He said, I'm going to show you I can go inside. And I'm the scorer for Kentucky now. It's so beautiful to see. You're seeing all the big stars making the big play. That's the great catch. And that was a tremendous basket because Hart has got great legs. Bombay, look at him on the left there, the team doctor sitting next to the general. General's so calm on that sideline.
We might need that team doctor before it's all over. Well, we might need him. I don't know. Delk missed the free throw, though. Kentucky by 2. We've got 3 minutes to play. And now Delk's going to be called for a foul.
John Moreau with the call. He made that famous call in 1989 where Ramil Robinson drove to the basket and got the opportunity for the 1-on-1 to win the national title there for Michigan against Seton Hall. That was the year Indiana. They got blown out earlier in the season by Syracuse, North Carolina. They were humiliated. Everybody thought they'd have a disastrous year. They come back, they win the Big Ten, and they got beaten in the Final 8 by Seton Hall.
Roderick Rhodes back in. Antoine Walker will sit, and he gets a pat on the backside from Rick Pitino.
Gave him a great lift offensively, but right now he wants to go with experience and leadership and certainly defense, and Rhodes brings defense to the table.
The Metairie kid with 14 points, but that one comes out.
Must make those free throws late in a 1-2-point game.
Cats by 2, and we're down to 2:45 left.
Rhodes being checked by Henderson, going to bring him away from the basket. Take him away from rebounding.
Epps kicks it out. Rhodes wide open and chooses to drive.
That's his game. Slashing. They wanted him to shoot the open jump shot, Brad. He hasn't made it all night.
And now Kentucky by 4.
That's a smart play by Rhodes. He knows they want him to shoot the jumper. He's struggling shooting the jumper, so he explodes to the goal.
Henderson got away from Prickett, but he knocked it away from behind. It has been a game of streaks, as Dick mentioned, and right now the streaks were in blue and white.
If you pick a must possession, this becomes now late in the game a must possession for Indiana in terms of a score.
2:16 left. Evans to inbound.
They got to put some points on the board right here.
He almost threw it away.
Oh, there's a trip.
Saved it, and his trip.
Accidental, but there was the trip by Jared Prickett.
What a great play by Reed just to get his hand on that ball.
Well, you think of Kentucky's front court. They're playing without Andre Riddick, as you documented earlier, the leading shot blocker in the SEC. But you throw in Riddick when he gets healthy with Pope and Prickett and McCarty and Walker and Rhodes. There aren't too many front courts that are that deep. I still think Arkansas is the best front court in America. As Neil Reed, last 2 games, he talked about this. 0 turnovers. Tonight he's had 3 in the first half. He's had 15 points and been a solid point guard. He's going to be worn out. You think he's going to earn his scholarship?
Oh, I guess so. Had a great night. Freshman got them both. 16 for Reed, and it is 70-68 Kentucky.
They needed points in that possession. They have Henderson now checking McCarty, who likes to drift as well.
Clear out for Rhodes on the left side against Evans one-on-one, but he's not going to try to take it to the hoop.
He's quick. Kentucky trying to get that ball movement, but Epps lets it fly. I don't think that's the shot they wanted to see.
I don't really think so either. And a foul underneath now is going to be called on Prickett, and that is 4 on him. I don't know if the one that's following us can be any better than what we've got, but I tell you what, these are 2 great teams. 6th-ranked Florida, number 4 Kansas. And that's coming up from Allen Fieldhouse as soon as we are done. And we have 1:51 left in regulation time here at Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky.
What a race it's going to be in the SEC with Arkansas, Kentucky, Florida. Alabama's going to be very good when they get Jason Caffey back. Vanderbilt has a great win the other day at home, beating Virginia.
LSU, the great young backcourt.
Oh, I look, that quick. You ready for this? Randy Livingston. I checked this out, and I love him. Dale's got a dynamite duo with Henderson and Livingston. He had 51 points, I believe, as he misses the free throw, and has about 31 assists in his last 2 games.
Henderson, a tremendous second half. Maybe a little bit tired. He came up short on that free throw. This will try to cut it to a 1-point game, and he does.
Fatigue certainly could become a factor when you get worn down, but they're so intense at practice, and they're so drilled at practice, Indiana, that these kids are in great shape.
Probably 2 of the most drilled clubs in all the land. You throw Arkansas in the mix, too. McCarty!
You got to get a hand in his face. That is his expertise. Squaring the body and knocking down nylon.
He's got 4 trays tonight, the big guy outside.
And he's from Indiana. You know that tastes really good for him. He's from out of Evansville. Played at the same high school as Talbot Cheney.
Whistle and a foul call.
On Rhodes.
Be on Rhodes. If it is, he's gone. Rick Pitino says, Robert,
I'm down. Doesn't need a technical now. Doesn't need a technical now. Get away. Roderick, go sit down. Become an assistant coach. Come on now. Get away.
He'll foul out with 10 points.
Look at Rick. Say, come on. Get off the court. He wants his whole team there. He wants to grab every moment he can to coach. Just like you mentioned in practice. These 2 guys don't waste a moment in practice, both coaches.
Rhodes had 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 steals last year, and only 10 points and no boards, and fouls out tonight.
Balance the key word in the Big Ten, and Indiana will be in that hunt in the Big Ten.
So Rhodes obviously disappointed with that 5th foul that he's picked up. He's gone.
He brings Walker in, who's going to come in, give him offense, but he's a liability right now. Rick told us today he has no clue on the defensive end.
16 points for Reed.
Must make these free throws, especially you're a point guard. The ball's going to be in your hands. When you got to block late in the game, you're going to get fouls. You got to convert these. He looks like a Boy Scout. Looks like he belongs right now in about the 8th grade. Look at this young guy. Oh.
Missed that merit badge he could have had right there, huh?
And they're going to right now run some clock. The Kentucky faithful all stand up. They all came from Lexington.
3-point game, just over a minute to go.
The Epps can't beat you with the dribble. He's not what you call a penetrating. Oh, there he. Nice little penetration.
Dealt. A 3 rattled out. Patterson found the handle. Indiana, a 3 would tie it. 50 seconds left in the game.
Don't have to think 3 yet, but if you are, Evans is the guy that's got to step out for it. But I think you go to Henderson down inside if you can spread the court.
Reed's not bashful either, even though he's a freshman.
But you don't really need it. If you can get a quick deuce right here, Henderson's got to be active and want it. Got to really want it. Hope's trying to deny him the basketball.
Got to move to the basket. Reed had it blocked down by Walker. And it'll be Indiana ball with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. 25-5 on the game clock.
Walker did a great job defensively there with his size to block that shot.
Now they got to hoist one in a hurry.
Really quick.
We'll have a timeout before we see that next shot taken by Indiana. 25.5 seconds left in this one. A thriller with Kentucky in front by 3.
If only the second game can live up to the first one. Coming up right at the bottom of the hour, Florida and Kansas. They're lined up outside Allen Fieldhouse, but we got to get back to the finish. With Brad and Dick and a great one down at Freedom Hall. Gentlemen.
Boy, is it ever, Carl. They're trying to look in from the outside. They didn't have any $250 tickets down low. 73-70 Kentucky, 25.5 left. And 3 seconds on the shot clock, Dick.
Well, it was desperation time in that last possession, trying to get a shot. Reed tried to let it fly, but Antoine Walker had the great advantage size-wise and blocked it. Look at Walker stepping out over the screen, and there's the block shot. Now he dives. Bobby Knight suddenly reacts on that sideline as we watch him right there. He said, I'm Santa Claus. Look, I'm so lovable. I'm overweight. He said, I wear red, and kids love me.
His team hasn't had a field goal, though, in the last 3 minutes. They need one desperately here. Evans with the catch from way downtown. He got the rim at least.
Had no time, had to shoot that quickly. That's why he tried that desperate three.
And
only 3 seconds.
And McCarty is fouled as he got the rebound.
People probably wondering why is he shooting so deep. They only had 3 seconds. Whatever time's left in that shot clock possession.
And Henderson is the guy that fouled him, and he's gone.
He's gone right now.
He leaves with 16 points and 8 rebounds. And 4 block shots. But should this thing somehow sneak into overtime, how big of a loss would he be?
Major lead. Certainly the edge would be Kentucky, but right now Rick Pitino's not thinking any overtime.
That's true. Indiana praying for that. McCarty has had a big night. 4 trays, all his field goals from 3-point range.
Well, you watched him in a workout, you said, and that's all he was shooting.
He was draining them then, and he drained them here in the game, but that's a big miss on the free throw.
You better drain this one right here. It's still a 1-possession game. He makes this, it really becomes tough for Indiana. It becomes 2 possessions, Brad.
The second one came out too.
And there's the loss of Henderson right there.
Walker misses underneath. Pat Knight hustling for the rebound. Indiana ball. 13.7 left.
Well, now you got to think 3. Now you got to really spread the court. You got to think 3.
Kentucky takes a timeout.
I would right now let Patrick Knight be your point guard, handle the basketball, and I would screen either for Reed or for Evans. Those would be my 2 options. Kentucky's really going to toughen up, especially on Evans. They know last year he made 92 threes. They know he shot 45% last year from 3-point range, and they know he can flat out shoot it. Reed is a little bit of the unknown, so Reed would be a guy who's a very dangerous shooter.
Walker could have finished this thing off on the miss.
Look at it hanging right up there. Go get it, Brad. Go get it. Look at the hands. All hands up there. There's Walker right now. See, here's where you miss a Henderson.
And there's where Walker had the great shot at it. Even used the glass and came up short. You talk about living right for Indiana. So they have 13.7 seconds remaining in regulation.
And as you mentioned, it could become big if they knock this down. As you look right here, 2-4 start for Indiana. Hey, 65-66, the general wasn't there. I can guarantee you that.
Dick Vitale had hair. Bob Knight was not at Indiana. It's been a long time since Indiana was 2-4. Right now, they're thinking, trying to send this thing into overtime.
I don't want to disappoint you, but my hair was gone by then, baby.
Oh, was it?
Oh, it's gone. But right now, you got to think as we look at timeouts and we look at the foul situation, both are in the bonus. Possession arrow belongs to Indiana. Right now, you're thinking 3. It's got to be Evans or Reed, I would believe. Certainly, Hart is not a guy that's going to shoot the basketball.
Reed has the only 2 3-pointers of the night. He's 2 for 4 from outside the arc for the 2 3-pointers for Indiana so far.
And Patrick Knight has great size and is an excellent passer. He would be the guy you want to get the ball to make the pass.
Here's your game. We're under 10 seconds. Reed's got it in hand. Let's see if he can work for one. He's cut off. Hart gets it back to him. Reed off the glass is short. Kentucky survived it.
Not a good-looking 3, but it's jubilation right now for Kentucky. You beat Indiana, you better believe it's a special feeling. Two great coaches shaking hands.
What a game for December. And Kentucky survives 73-70, our final. For Dick Vitale and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Brad Nessler saying so long from Louisville, Kentucky. Let's send it back to the studio and Carl Ravitch. Carl?